want to see the cogs turning in my head. Yeah. No, okay. So my name's Steph.
My name's Gemma Whitby.
My name's Sue.
I'm Nikki.
I'm Michelle.
My name's Rob.
I'm Catherine.
My name's Karen.
In May 2023, Independent Lives was selected by NHS Health Education England to be a part of its 2023-2024 Community Participatory Action Research Cohort, which focuses on the cost of living. Community Participatory Action Research, or CPAR, is a method of research where community members actively take part in all stages of the research process to address and solve issues that affect their lives. We surveyed 138 disabled people and carers across Sussex and asked how the cost of living had affected them and their families. Out of those 138 people, 8 volunteered to take part in face-to-face interviews with our community researchers to fully share their experiences. Here are their stories. What are your experiences with the cost of living?
It's horrible. The cost of living is horrible. It's been hard with just everything going up. Obviously, just everything like tripling or doubling. And it has kind of stopped me doing things that I probably should do to help myself or the children and stuff like that. So I don't see chiropractors anymore. And I don't go to my hydrotherapy anymore because I can't afford it because it's private, and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of things I've had to cut back on.
Everything is just so expensive. And also the fact that we have Archie is literally completely reliant on electricity. Like he wouldn't be alive without electricity. So we don't have any option other than to use electricity in our home. Like we can't budget that. It's got to, be constant.
I've definitely felt the impact of it. Some of the ways I describe it is it can feel like a disabled tax at times. So some of the things that cost me more money due to my disability, any kind of assistance from personal independence payment no longer meets those costs. So I'm effectively having to self-fund some of the things that I need in order to be able to live independently.
Everything's gone up for everyone, I know, but it just feels that for someone with a disability, it seems to have gone up disproportionately.
We've never been rich, and we've never. It's not that it's not that the money that we had made us in any way above or could do things or going out to restaurants all the time, or it was just living a normal life, and it had just allowed us to do that and allowed us to just do normal things. And where we are now, it feels like we're squashed. It feels like there's no breathing space. And it feels it just feels so hard at the moment.
Is there anything specific to your disability that you think has been impacted by the cost of living?
I guess my care in the community is a prime example of that. When I first went on direct payments in I think it's probably like 2000, or I was on the original pilot scheme, so I've been on the scheme over 20 years, and my client contribution then, because I was on a low income, was £12 a month. Now it's over £300 a month, and that exponentially is just like, I'm on a low income, so yes, I expect prices to rise and inflation and all that, but it's just gone bonkers.
Since we conducted this interview in February 2024, Michelle's client contribution has increased from £350 to £400 per month.
I go without things, so I don't pay. My medicines are all paid for because I'm over retirement age, so that's a godsend. Since the stroke, I had clopidogrel and atorvastatin, which are different type of statin specifically for strokes. And I've got millions. I've got them all with me. If you want a list, I've got hundreds of things that I take.
If your medicines weren't paid for, what kind of impact would that have on you?
I'd die.
Have you noticed any changes in NHS services or provision since the increase in the cost of living?
I mean, I'm going to be really honest with you. From what I hear from parents whose children have got to adult age and they've had to swap over to adult, this is going to sound awful, but there's a part of me that would be a bit relieved if I never had to go through that with him, because it just sounds awful and really hard.
My mum's got quite a few health care needs. That has meant that she's had to have hospital appointments, and she's been told, you know, how long it is to wait for an appointment, and she's still continuing to suffer with a certain condition that she's got. At the surgery she goes to, although they are very good, there's only one doctor there that specialises in the condition that my mum's got, and she only works part-time 1 day a week.
My husband is waiting for 3 hospital appointments. One of them is a heart appointment. He's been waiting over a year to see a heart specialist. And he's also waiting to see a neurologist and the sleep clinic. And the GP keeps writing and saying, look, this is a matter of urgency. But I think the waiting lists are so long that, yes, there's definitely, it's pretty worrying.
Then the waiting list can just be, or you get to that point and you get really, oh great, I've got my appointment, and then it gets cancelled, and then it gets really frustrating. My mum gets upset if she's waited a long time, that gets cancelled, and then you could be waiting ages and say, well, they're giving you another appointment. No, she said they just cancelled it. So yeah, it is difficult, and it's got worse. It has got worse.
I think it's probably been more that there's just a lack of access to the services. So instead of a different, it's just non-existent. That's kind of been my experience, where perhaps I was on a certain treatment pathway. I've got some tumours in my thyroid as an example, and I have to have them checked every however often. So instead of, when they got rid of whatever clinic they're doing, instead of being able to access anything else, it's just stopped. So then I'm just health limbo, I suppose, where you don't really know how the status of your health conditions are changing. So no, I wouldn't say anything different, just less of.
Does the cost of living make you worry about the future?
Yes. I don't know what the future holds. And I'm not just saying that because I got divorced a few years ago, and of course your life suddenly changes trajectory, if you like. You have a life plan and suddenly that changes and you're like, ooh. But that was like a personal thing. But it's almost like Big Brother or the government have decided that people with disabilities have got to have this life and they can't deviate, hesitate or whatever.
And I think, you know, one day I might wake up and think, oh my God, I actually haven't got enough money to put enough petrol in my car to get me to my mum's, or to get me to work, to be able to afford to put those things, because it is, you know, and I think it's just, sometimes you walk around the shop and you just think, oh, it would just be nice just to pick something up, knowing that I'm not going to worry how much it's going to cost me when I get to the till.
It's crazy. It's crazy to be in this position at this. It's just crazy how things have changed so much in 5 years, 7 years. Would you say 7 years? It's a bit mad that it's it's so many lives have been not only lost but changed, and you know.
Thank you to NHS England and to everyone who contributed to our study, supported us in our research, and helped make our project possible. This project has been funded by the Workforce Training and Education Directorate at NHS England South East. For more information on our cost of living research project, including a full report, please visit our website www.independentlives.org.